Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're diving deep into Indian innovation to see what sets them apart. Get ready for some surprising stats and stories that might change how you see this global powerhouse. We've got reports on bustling startups, groundbreaking space missions, AI transforming everyday life, and even cities of the future. Buckle up, because India's got a lot going on, and it's about to get really interesting.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. India's not just copying the West. They're tackling their own massive challenges and coming up with solutions that can impact the whole globe. It's fascinating how they use their limitations to spark creativity.
Okay, so let's start with this huge startup scene everyone's talking about. We always hear Silicon Valley of India, but is that just hype, or is something truly unique happening there?
It's way more than hype. Just think about this. India's added like over 100 unicorns just in the past few years.
Wait, hold on. Unicorns, you mean?
Yeah, those privately held startups valued at over $1 billion. And they're popping up everywhere, not just in the usual tech hubs.
Wow, 100 unicorns. Okay, so there's definitely quantity, but you mentioned them tackling challenges in a unique way. What did you mean by that?
Well, take fintech, for example. India has a huge population without access to traditional banking.
Yeah.
So startups created mobile-first solutions like UPI, a real-time payment system that processes more transactions than Visa and MasterCard combined.
Whoa, seriously?
Yeah, and it's even going global.
That's wild. So they're turning a problem into an opportunity that's now impacting the whole world. What about other sectors? Are we seeing this elsewhere too?
Absolutely. Look at agritech. India has millions of small farmers facing unpredictable weather and market challenges. Startups are using AI and sensor tech for things like precision farming, optimizing water use and predicting crop yields. It's not just about efficiency. It's about food security for over 1 billion people.
So they're not just creating the next trendy app, they're solving real fundamental issues. It's like every startup has this social impact built right in.
Exactly. It's innovation out of necessity, and that's what makes it so powerful. Now let's switch gears and talk about another area where India is pushing boundaries: artificial intelligence.
AI, it feels like it's everywhere these days. What makes India's approach to AI different? Is it just another Silicon Valley copycat?
Not at all. What's interesting about India is they're using AI to solve very specific on-the-ground problems. For example, in healthcare, they're using AI to analyze X-rays for tuberculosis, which is still a major issue there. This tech is being used in rural areas where access to specialists is limited.
So they're bringing advanced tech to the places that need it most. That's a powerful example of how AI can have a real-world impact. Are there similar things happening in other fields?
Definitely. In education, they're using AI to personalize learning for kids in areas with teacher shortages. These platforms adapt to each student's pace and can even predict what they might struggle with. It's like a personal tutor for every child, no matter where they live.
Wow, that's incredible. Okay, now I have to ask about something that's always captured my imagination. India's space program. They did that Mars mission on a tiny budget, which just blew my mind. What else are they doing up there?
Well, their space agency, ISRO, is known for being really efficient with their engineering. They're not just about flashy missions. They're focused on practical applications for people on Earth.
Like what kind of practical applications?
Well, their satellites are used for everything: predicting cyclones, mapping flood zones, even helping farmers monitor crops. They're even using satellites to beam educational programs to remote villages. It's all about making space tech accessible and relevant to daily life.
So they're taking this cutting-edge tech and bringing it down to Earth to solve real problems. It's like space exploration with a purpose.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. They've also got plans for missions to study the sun, Venus, and even talks about sending humans to space. And they do all this while keeping costs super low.
Okay, before we blast off completely into space, let's bring it back down to Earth and talk about the digital revolution happening in India, especially in sectors like agriculture and healthcare. What's catching your eye in those areas?
It's so interesting how these traditional sectors are being completely transformed by tech. It's like they're leaping ahead into the future. Let's start with agriculture.
Okay, paint me a picture of what's happening in the fields of India.
Imagine drones flying over fields, taking pictures that AI then analyzes to spot pests or diseases early on. Farmers get real-time data on their smartphones to decide about things like irrigation and fertilizer. It's about precision and efficiency, which is crucial when you're feeding over 1 billion people.
It's like they're combining ancient wisdom with cutting-edge tech. What about healthcare? How is tech changing things there?
India faces a huge challenge providing quality care to a vast and diverse population. Telemedicine is booming, connecting doctors in cities to patients in remote villages. Digital health platforms make it easier to access medical records, book appointments, and even order medicine online.
So they're using tech to bridge the gap between those who have access to care and those who don't. It's like they're democratizing healthcare.
Exactly. And it's not just about basic care. They're also developing AI-powered diagnostic tools that can help doctors find diseases like cancer and heart disease earlier, which leads to better outcomes.
This is all so inspiring, but it's a lot to process. It feels like we've only scratched the surface of what's happening in India.
Oh, we definitely have. And the story gets even more interesting as we explore things like the rise of green technology, the development of smart cities, and the incredible role women are playing in all of this.
Well, I can't wait to dive into all of that, but for now, we'll have to pause here and pick up this conversation in part 2.
Yeah, it's amazing how India is weaving technology into everything, even in places you wouldn't expect.
You're right. We talk about agriculture and healthcare, but what about these smart cities? That sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie. What's the reality like on the ground?
Well, it's becoming more real every day. India is urbanizing so quickly, and they're using tech to make these cities more livable and sustainable. We're not talking about just fancy gadgets. It's about using data to actually solve city problems.
Okay, give me an example. How does a smart city actually work?
Let's think about traffic. It's a nightmare in so many Indian cities. Smart traffic systems use sensors and AI to keep track of traffic flow, and they adjust signals in real time to help with congestion. Shorter commutes, less pollution, happier people.
So it's like a giant brain directing the city's traffic. What other cool stuff are they doing?
Well, they're using sensors to monitor air quality and even track waste management. Think about garbage bins that send alerts when they're full, so you can plan better routes for trash pickup. It's all about being more efficient and cleaner using the power of data.
That's amazing. Sounds like the possibilities are endless. What about the people behind all this? We can't forget about them. You mentioned earlier the role women are playing in India's tech scene. Can you tell me more about that?
It's so inspiring to see so many women breaking barriers in areas that used to be dominated by men. We're seeing women starting successful companies, leading research teams, and even running big tech companies.
What are some examples that really stand out?
Well, there's this one amazing woman who founded a company that's using AI to create personalized cancer treatments. Another woman is leading a team that's building drones for agriculture, which helps farmers and boosts food security. And there are just so many others who are coding, designing, and really building India's future.
So they're not just participating, they're leading the way.
Exactly. This isn't just about equality. It's about using all the talent that's out there. A more diverse tech sector means better solutions for everyone.
I love that perspective. Now let's zoom out a bit and talk about India's role on the global stage. They've always been known for their software, but it seems like they're aiming even higher.
Yeah. They're not just happy being the back office anymore. India is making a big push into hardware manufacturing, particularly in the semiconductor industry.
So they're not just writing the code now, they want to actually build the chips that power our devices.
Exactly. They've got this big, skilled workforce, and they're attracting major investment from those global tech giants who are looking to diversify.
That's a bold move. What's driving this shift?
I think part of it is national pride, wanting to stand on their own 2 feet. They want to be a key player in the global tech scene, not just a service provider. But it's also about economic opportunity. More jobs, more exports, and a stronger position in the world economy.
It sounds like they're playing the long game here, really thinking about their future in tech.
Oh, for sure. They're thinking ahead. And speaking of the future, there's another technology that's going to have a huge impact on India.
5G.
5G. We've been hearing about it forever, but it's finally rolling out in lots of places. What impact do you think it will have on India specifically?
Imagine a country where even the most remote villages have fast internet. 5G is going to connect people in ways we haven't seen before, and that opens up incredible opportunities for education, healthcare, even entertainment. So it's not just about faster downloads on our phone.
No way. 5G is going to be the foundation for a whole new digital world. Think about things like remote surgery, self-driving cars, virtual reality that feels totally real.
Wow. It really sounds like 5G is going to change everything, not just for India, but the whole world.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And India is well positioned to really use this technology. We've got a large young population that's super tech savvy, and the government is pushing for 5G everywhere.
This is all so exciting. It feels like we've been on a whirlwind tour of India's innovation, bustling startups, space missions, smart cities, women in tech.
And we've only just scratched the surface. There's still so much more to talk about, but for now we need to take a short break. When we come back in part 3, we'll wrap up our deep dive into the fascinating world of Indian innovation with some final thoughts and key takeaways.
Welcome back to the deep dive. It's been quite a journey through the world of Indian innovation. We've seen everything from those rising tech hubs to their unique approaches in space exploration, AI, and even urban planning.
Yeah, it's really remarkable how they turn challenges into these opportunities for innovation, right?
Right.
It's not just adopting what's out there. It's about adapting and creating something new that fits their situation.
Yeah, it's like they've taken the best ideas from around the world and combined them with their own ingenuity to make something completely new. So as we wrap up this deep dive, what are some of the big takeaways for you? What makes India's innovation story so interesting?
Well, one thing that really stands out is the scale and diversity of it all. I mean, we're not just talking about a few big tech companies here. It's this vibrant mix of startups, research institutions, government initiatives, and even those grassroots innovators.
And they're not just focused on local problems either. From finding affordable healthcare solutions to figuring out sustainable ways to farm, they're coming up with ideas that could have a huge impact globally.
Exactly. And that focus on frugal innovation, making the most out of limited resources, that's something we can all learn from. They're proving that you don't need tons of money to make a difference. It's about being resourceful and creative.
It's like they're rewriting the rules of innovation, showing everyone that it's not just about Silicon Valley or huge tech giants. Anyone, anywhere can be an innovator if they have the right mindset and really want to solve problems.
Absolutely. And we can't forget about the role of women in all of this. We've seen so many examples of women breaking down barriers in STEM fields, founding successful companies, and leading research at the very forefront of technology.
It just goes to show that diversity and inclusion aren't just empty words. They're vital for creating a truly thriving innovation ecosystem.
Exactly. When you have different perspectives and experiences at the table, you get much better solutions that benefit everyone.
So looking ahead, what excites you most about the future of Indian innovation? What trends do you think will shape the next chapter of this story?
Well, one thing I'm really interested in is how technology and social impact are coming together. More and more, innovators are focused on using tech to tackle problems like poverty, inequality, and climate change.
So it's like they're not just building a better future for themselves, they're trying to build a better future for the whole planet. That's something we should all be paying attention to.
Absolutely. And you know what? This is just the beginning. India's story is still unfolding, and I think the most exciting chapters are yet to come.
It's been amazing exploring the world of Indian innovation. We've seen how India is using its unique strengths to shape the future of technology, and in doing so, offering a model for innovation that we can all learn from.
I think so too.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into Indian innovation. Keep asking questions, keep exploring, and keep believing in the power of human ingenuity to build a better future.